Cool, dude. I'm fucking stoked.
Oh,
Crazy, dude. Here we go, dude. The beginning of something. Fuck yeah. Dude, did you by chance watch any of that State of the Union?
oh my gosh, dude.
I'm only 40 minutes in, and I'm doing the USA Today fact check thing. And I'm not no opinions on it or anything other than the fact it's like, dude, if you're gonna be fact checking, you kind of like need to cite a credible source, or at least a source. They didn't do either. I'm like, what kind of fucking fact checking is this?
Yeah, okay.
Fact forcing.
I watched it. It wasn't the worst thing ever, but I just think it's like,
Yeah.
just the whole politics as a whole. It's like we were talking about the other day. Like, it's just it's a swamp of sadness.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because I'm gonna have my putting it bluntly section that in fact we're gonna start smoking this in just a minute here, but I was thinking about it. I'm gonna bring this stuff up, but I just want to ask questions about what people think. I don't want to even give any opinions, dude, because it's like, dude, so much of this stuff is just put out there for people to fucking grab it and become biased. It's like, fuck, dude, like, here's an idea. Take it and digest it instead.
Yeah, like, instead of having to be a knee-jerk reaction, I mean, of course, like, a lot of stuff...
I got a lighter around here, Matt. Do you see my lighter?
A lot of stuff dude says just sounds fucking dumb.
Yeah.
One of my least favorite phrases these days is fake news.
Yeah, like, I mean, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, because there's no fake news. It's either bullshit. It's either real or it's not. It's fiction or it's nonfiction.
What it is, it's an incomplete thought. It's like a little kid who just lashes out and says a thing.
Yeah.
Not that, like, the funny thing is like, obviously, like, people get things wrong and there's bias in the media and all that, of course. Because what was the media made up of? It's made up of people, right?
Yeah.
And these people have their own thoughts and beliefs. They have their own skewed perception of the world because everybody's a narcissist deep down inside. Like,
kind of our inherent nature, I think, right?
Yeah, exactly. We've talked about that.
Yeah, totally.
But just like when somebody says something, like fake news, like it's like it's not just the dude. It's caught on with all kinds of people. Just fake news. Like, man, at least formulate a thought. We devolved into like explain why. Like, where's your proof? The burden of proof falls on you when you say something.
Right. Well, that's one of the huge reasons why I believe in freedom of speech, right? Is because you're going to have the consequences of your spoken word. If everybody has the freedom, then you're going to be held accountable. But do you one of the things I think is happening a lot, and I don't know if you agree with this, but I think a lot of it, there's stuff that comes out, and there's such a push to get this information out. They don't wait to find out all of the information. Like the whole Kavanaugh thing, right? I'm not going to defend the dude or any of that, but what they did know is there was a bunch of shit that was said as fact, and then people came out and said, no, that's not true. I was there. I don't know anything about that. I can't back it up. Don't put me into this. And it was like, if they would have just waited a little bit and done the research, they could have found that out and not looked bad. And this happened on both sides, too. I don't want to take a side on that, but it's just an example.
Exactly what I'm talking about. It's like,
I'm going to hand this to my producer, Matt, over here, because I think he needs some of this.
Hey.
He needs his medicine.
A little salad.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a perfect case in point right there. It's like, everybody's so quick to rush to judgment and stuff. Like, the due process should theoretically exist for a reason, but whatever. That's kind of like, that's just, it's all.
Well, that should be part of the process, right? I mean.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's just like that in general. It's funny, like this, living here versus living in LA is totally different because it's definitely a lot more conservative country. It's Midwest.
Yeah.
But people here, by and large, still, like, you don't hear people saying fake news that often. Maybe it's because I also, like, live in the city and not, like, in a outer, but Omaha's not like a big city, right?
I think you have more community there. I mean, fuck, dude, how many of my neighbors that live in the same building as me that, you know, I know, but they don't know each other. And I don't know some of my neighbors in other buildings around here. Like, there's a lack of real community in these huge metropolitan areas. And so I think that breeds a bit of bias in this whole thing. Like, there's the intersectionality sort of things. And I think that, like, where you are, you're able to get by and through past a lot of that, right? Because these are people that work together, they see each other, and they're not having all these different ideals pushed at each other all the time. Well, you still have the internet there, so I don't know if that's necessarily true either.
I find that it's just not quite as hard right as I would assume it is. Like,
yeah.
And you know me, like, I'm not a far left guy either. I'm like right down the middle. But I'm an independent thinker, so like I'll think about things. And I'll have my opinion, and I don't feel necessarily like I need to share it with people, especially if I hear, you know, for example, the Nifty, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to hear me down there sharing my points of view if I hear some dude going off. First of all, it's not really the time or place in a bar to be talking about that shit.
Yeah. Anytime you're drinking, right? It's probably not the best time to go over any of these, but hey.
Good policy.
But
It's also when most of it does happen, too.
Yeah.
I know.
Unavoidably.
A lot of it is like, I actually really haven't encountered too much of it. I kind of expected the opposite when I moved here.
Yeah. Well, you're also a unicorn in the sense of coming from where you were in Ohio. In fact, and in a bit, too, I want to have you tell your whole story thing about that. But just simply coming from there out to L.A., becoming such a big presence in what you were, and then going back out into the middle of the country again, right? And then the adapting and the acclimation that you have to do on that. But it also gives you a very valuable perception of things, you know?
That's true.
It's a lot better than mine, say.
I guess I've seen like both, you know, or I've lived in the two extremes. And I didn't really, you know, the one thing I could say is like all the Hollywood stuff and like people thinking their opinion is more valid because they're somehow like engaged in the Hollywood scene.
Oh, I'm surviving in Hollywood, so obviously I'm better than people everywhere else.
That mentality, yeah. So, but I mean, I do see like why people think that way, because like as you know, I mean.
I have to try really hard not to say names, by the way.
Right, yeah. Definitely finish the page. But that's definitely like that elitist mentality, and I just think that even in the entertainment business and shit, not just even just with musicians and people that you and I know personally or whatnot, but it's definitely like a common theme. But there is some validity in people feeling that way because it's hard to get by out there because A, it's expensive, and if you end up making any kind of name for yourself and whatever scene it is that you're in, it's definitely kind of like it's the place to be. So I can see why people become even more so narcissistic with their point of view and like having extra validity to it. But it's the truth is, and none of it really matters anyway, right? Like nobody's better than anybody else, but
Dude. What are the chances any of us are going to be remembered 100 years after we're gone?
Yeah, like,
some of your transcriptions probably will be.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
All these Borelli, people better be loving this Borelli shit and Adrian Moynier stuff, because it's a pain in the ass.
Well, I'll give it. I mean, I wouldn't have known for Borelli most likely if it wasn't for you. I wouldn't know about the Rosenbergs if it wasn't for you. We wouldn't have done the Hot Club if it wasn't for you. I mean, there's, you know, that's one thing that I have to make sure, and this is one thing that has to go onto the thing, is like, I have to give you so much credit for helping me to move forward with what I wanted to do musically. I mean, dude, one of the biggest inspirations to me was end up meeting you and having you become one of my best friends in my entire life, just right out the fucking gate here in Hollywood. I mean, it's serendipitous, and who knows, dude, I might have totally failed if it wasn't for that. You know, I don't know what would have come. Well, but a lot of it is who we surround ourselves with, right? And you did the same thing, and because of who you surrounded yourself with, you got opportunities, which, you know, So I'm just really thankful that I have the chance. And fuck, dude, I get to do this with you because of that. Had 16 years ago we not played the Trooper?
The Trooper.
Was it the Trooper?
It was wasn't it?
I think so.
I don't remember how. I don't know how it even goes. Is it chromatic?
It doesn't matter. We figured it out then.
It's like 8 minutes long.
Yeah, we knew it then. I can't even hear it in my head. I'm assuming it went like this.
Fast.
Yeah, man.
Here, do this as yours.
Yeah. Well, hey, so I know that you got to take off for work in a little bit, right?
Oh,
So-
no, I don't have to go anywhere, actually.
Okay, cool.
My phone's just telling me. Get out of there. Calendar. My calendar was just giving me a heads up that I'm teaching Darren at 4 o'clock at my house, which is exactly 1 hour from now. So.
Perfect. And what I was thinking, dude, is like we can cover as much, and then we could just take off with any other recording later too, so we don't have to feel rushed to get everything done within the hour. In fact, if all we do is shoot the shit for the hour, we can do more later because I'm.
Oh, it's whatever, man. Like you said, I'm just down to hang. I set an hour aside just to.
Look, yeah.
I was just currently looking over Stockwell, Rosenberg,
Okay.
phrases 1 through 4 from, I don't know, it's like in the style of Stockwell. He's just showing like some technique stuff. That's not even the one I was looking for, though. It's not that great.
Yeah. Hey, dude, so in the realm of guitar virtuosity, since there are people out there who are not familiar and stuff like that, you want to, would you be down to explain a little bit about how, because obviously I know your story, how we met and you coming out here, but like, how did you end up here? How are we having this conversation? Where did this all start for Greg Harrison?
Oh, that's a brilliant, okay, so after many beers and herbal supplements and whatnot, let's see if I remember this exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
So, I took a guitar lesson with this guy, Dave Thornton, in Lebanon, Ohio, at the recommendation of my buddy Josh Wallace, who's like one of my childhood best friends. And he was a really good guitar player, and he was taking lessons with Dave. I was like, I had just started playing because Josh gave me a guitar, right? I think I was like 14 or I don't know. Like I was young. Like I played piano for like 8 years or something. I was taking piano lessons, so I knew about music a little bit. I didn't really like playing the piano. Now looking back, I really like stuck with it because piano is so cool. Like now that I'm like a guitar player, I get in all in the fronts and show hand and shit. It's like, damn. I should have stuck with that thing.
Dude, I feel you, man. I feel you. I mean, it's one of the few percussion instruments I don't know. But anyway, yeah.
It's such a beautiful thing when played well, you know. Not like me as a little kid playing it, but it's pretty punishing. But so anyway, Josh like borrowed a guitar, like this acoustic guitar that was just gnarly. But first thing I did is I sat down at the keyboard and I was like, okay, here's the white keys. And I just started figuring out by string, you know, E, F, G, A, B, C, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Like.
So you started learning the notes on the board as specific notes from the keyboard, not as patterns.
Not as patterns, yeah. Totally like. So I learned it as like 6 little pianos, which is super
That's
bad.
awesome.
So anyway, like I did that for a while. This is like, you know, the early days of. Let's see, the internet came into play maybe a couple years later, or at least the whole use of it, you know?
Yeah.
Dial-up.
Dial-up AOL, dude. Remember the discs?
So, yeah.
The coasters?
I remember by the time I was, like, a teenager, you could, like, find guitar tabs and stuff. But so, like, the first few years of me learning was, like, straight up, like, all the old school dudes, you know? Like, I had a record, and I would put it on, like, the record player that my brother had.
Yeah.
And I would play it at slow speed, and I also had like a tape recorder that you could slow it down, like, you know, those dual.
Turn the 45 down to 33 or whatever.
Yeah, and it was like, so I was learning stuff like that, but my ear was already pretty good at playing music for so long. So I remember my buddy Josh was like, man, you're learning really quick, like, It's kind of unusual. Like within the first year, I was playing Van Halen and Ozzy and stuff, and like some Led Zeppelin and all that. And he was like, "Yo, I take lessons with this guy Dave," and I was seeing Josh get better all the time. And he was getting real into Joe Satriani and started to work on modes. And I was like, "Oh, what's this guy talking about?" So I went and took lessons with Dave. Sat down. By that time, I was already into like Dimebag and all that stuff. He like watched plays. Whoa, so what are you doing here? Like you can play, you know, you sound good. And then he was one of the first people. He's like, well, you should check out Jason Becker, Paul Gilbert, Frank and Molly. So he like made me a little tape. Dave did. So I took this tape home and like I listened to like Frank and Molly. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit, dude? Like this guy's, you know, I didn't really like the music, but I was like, man, the guitar playing is ruthless.
Yeah.
It didn't sound possible, right? Like the crazy thing I heard was like Game Day, and then I listened to Jason Becker and Paul Gilbert. It was just like, wow.
Yeah, like my first time hearing Bozio play, where it's just like, what?
Yeah,
you know, it's like I can't even understand a lot of what's going on. I just know that it sounds crazy, and it's like, and I can't do it.
Yeah, that's kind of what started the thing. So I went back, like 2 weeks later, took another like one-off lesson with Dave,
Good on that.
and I had started like trying to figure that stuff out, and it was infuriating. Like I just couldn't do it, you know. He's like, he went home. He's like, if you hang out here, I don't live far away. He went home and grabbed this instructional video, and it was Paul Gilbert, Intense Rock Sequences and Techniques. It's like his first instructional video.
Yeah.
It's got like a pink guitar. Anyway, so he's like, sent me home with that. I played with that video every day. I made a copy of it. I pirated it. And then I played with that video basically every day until I could play along with the entire thing. You know, and at the end of it, it said, you know, he says, thanks to all the students at GIT or whatever. I was like, what's GIT? And then, so I asked the stage dude, you know, I was like, what's that all about? He's like, oh, it's Guitar Institute of Technology. My buddy Alfie went there. This guy from Middletown, who's a really good guitar player. He's like, yeah, it's a music college. So I started like researching that, and I sent off for a catalog and stuff. I'm like, I bet you my mom still has it. But then I started playing in bands and stuff. I was like, you know, someday I'm going to go to GIT. So I'm going to go to GIT. So eventually, with the help of my parents, I also worked like 3 jobs, sold my car and everything, and ended up I got accepted. Yeah, I remember just even that first day. That place was so different then.
Dude, I mean, that was great. I hate to say it, and I'm not going to I'll probably take this out of the podcast, but I kind of feel bad for the students that go there now.
Well, yeah, it was just such a different thing. And there was a lot of serious players like when we went there.
Well, there was freedom to help each individual player do their thing. Now it's kind of carbon, cut and paste. Yeah. Everybody fits.
I think that's kind of a beneficial thing about it now too, is that it is like regulated, but I think that's helpful for a student who comes in and who doesn't know that much about what to try to do. Like somebody like yourself or like Ro or myself or like Hobby and Mace and all those guys or Die. You know, like we all came in there at a pretty high level already, could play things. Like I couldn't get up and like sight read a tune or anything, but like I could play the guitar. You know, like a lot of kids that are going there now, they're not necessarily like capable technically of playing things. But they can like learn kind of from the very beginning and not really develop bad habits, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like if they put in the time, I've seen people come in there, you know, as guitar students that couldn't play for shit. And then by the time they leave there a few years later, like they actually can play the guitar. They might not be super strong at it, but then I'll see them like years later, and I've seen that after teaching there for so long, that people like turned into like really good musicians, not even just good guitar players, but good musicians. So, you know, and Steve is such a brilliant dude, and him revamping the curriculum and stuff. Like I like a lot of what he did to it.
For the people watching who don't know, Stieg is the head of GIT over there, right? The chair or whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just. I mean, well, you know, we've all jammed with him and stuff. Like the dude's just just a crazy ass guitar player. But also he's a great musician, right? So
Yeah.
he's a very, very intelligent.
Well, I hope to get him on here one day because I know he's doing like the doing the stuff with Steve Vai and doing the camps and the Satrioni camp and all these things. So yeah, I'd love to get him on here. In fact, one of these days I'd like to get him here and get you on like this, and so we can kind of three-way and have some fun that way. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be rad, man. I need to call him. Like we've been texting and stuff, but I haven't been keeping too well in touch with people. I kind of became a bit of a hermit because, well, like I'm sitting here, I've become obsessed with transcribing all this stuff, and not necessarily like I want to go play these tunes, but I want to get these transcriptions written out properly for people. And that's kind of like, I guess, where my whole journey went from like being there and meeting you, and we started PDP and all that,
Crazy times.
Shredzilla, the whole Shredzilla thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, Shredzilla was before PDP too. I mean, Shredzilla was, dude, that was just, I mean, because I remember seeing that, and that was where I was just like, holy shit, dude, because I mean, obviously I realized the type of musician you were, but then seeing that band, and because I mean, we met Michael at about the same time, right? Like all of us right at the beginning too. Michael Dwyer, for anybody who doesn't know, a phenomenal bass player, and the bass player in Shredzilla, and I remember seeing you guys, and I was just like, holy shit, dude, this is like classical music, done straight up metal, but done just so appropriately,
Yeah, that was such a fun band. Like that was a lot of fun. Like crazy Happy Feet. Patrick was.
I was thinking about him in the truck the other day, and us driving around. Anyway, that's a story for another time. But
he's a strange character. But what a good drummer. Then Roe. Who else? We had Justin Kier jam for a minute. Who else? Yeah, Mace was awesome. Hobby, obviously.
Oh, Nathaniel.
Nathaniel. I don't do Facebook stuff much anymore. It's just so negative or whatever.
I'm on it because I mean, and I'm I don't keep this from anybody. I mean, it's how a lot of stuff still happens, and then once there's a better platform, I want to get it. I'm down to get off that.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking in it. So anybody watches this podcast who actually wants to say anything about it, I'm looking at a way of moving this to another platform, something we can monetize, something we can get you some of your stuff going up on, and just a better way to do it where we're not under the control of people that can listen to what we say and then either have a computer or have somebody decide that what we're saying is appropriate or not. I want to let people who watch it decide, and I'll suffer the consequences of what I say based on the comments I get, based on, if it's monetized and people don't pay us, well, then I know I'm doing something wrong. But to have a big brother up there watching, I just went on a tangent. Yeah, but back to your Facebook thing. Yeah, so you don't do Facebook too much. Sorry, I hijacked that.
Oh no, yeah, I just for that purpose, like I'm kind of turned into a hermit just because I really like studying. I'm back in a study mode, pretty big time. I'm teaching out here and stuff. But my main thing is I get up every morning, have some coffee or energy cola, a little bit of breakfast, go for a run. It's not freezing and snowing like it is right now. It's like ridiculous out. But then I sit down and I pick, like every day it's like I'll pick something. Like I'll watch a YouTube video of some ruthless gypsy jazz stuff. I'm like, cool, let's learn that. I go through and figure it out. Like right now I'm working on Antoine Blair, a song called Road Trip. And there's some interesting stuff in it. Like all these guys, they learn, in such a old school fashion, like just by listening and through their family. Like Borelli learned from his family members, as he was a kid. And this Antoine Boyer guy's got like classical background.
I'm not familiar with this guy. Is this a younger or older cat?
He's younger. Yeah, I'm not sure how old he is. I don't know too much about him. I've been watching for a couple, maybe 2 years. I've been aware of him, and he plays classical guitar like ruthlessly. I just got his album. Chameleon Waltz, I think is what it's called. It's got a bunch of his original tunes on it.
I'll have to look that up after this.
Yeah, it's really good, man. He does a cover of Sound of Silence, which is such an overly done thing, I think, but he does it like all like jazz finger style. But like with some, I don't know, he's gnarly, like a lot of counterpuntal stuff happening, but you can tell he's improvising.
Sounds like something I'd dig then.
Yeah, you would really dig it. It's all solo guitar stuff. Some of it's gypsy jazz based, but a lot of it it's just like counterpoint. And so like I've been listening to that, like, well, that's something in my playing. I don't play like that. I've been studying so much Borelli and like Adrian Lenore, Gonzalo Vergara, who are all similar in style. Like, Gonzalo is more kind of blues based. I can tell he used to be a blues player. And there's even some videos of him like playing with his blues group, and it's awesome shit. And then Adrian is kind of very Borelli esque, but with his own voice. And of course, Borelli just pisses on everyone on the planet.
Yeah, that guy is, something else, man.
It's ridiculous. I was watching that, that live in Vienna, that unaccompanied solo he takes for like 8 minutes. I was watching that this morning, and like it actually, with him, it either super motivates me, or the same thing the next day can be like, I'll just take this and be like, well, that's it for a while. Like, where's the chorus like,
Yeah.
Give me a chord and give me
Oh, yeah.
But
It's funny how it does that. It seems to be one or the other with that sort of thing, where you're like either super inspired or you're just like, why even bother for the day?
yeah, and I get it too, because like some days I think it just depends how brazen you are. Like today I was kind of like all into it, and when he really starts going off, one thing that hit me is like his time is just so good that it irritates me. It's like, dude, my time sucks compared to this guy. Even just watching him comp and stuff, it's just so effortless. But I guess that's where all this getting into this style, like gypsy music, or whatever you want to call it, jazz, manouche. I was exposed to, Bill LaFleur at MI was the one that exposed to me, and Jean Marc.
Yeah.
Both of those dudes, and then Dan Gilbert was talking about Django and stuff. It's funny, for years, like, I had this Django, we even used to listen to it in my old apartment. I had that Django, was a 2-disc set. It's got like...
I remember, because it wasn't long after that I found out that I had his Django CD, and I had just never listened to it or anything, so that's when I tried plugging in. I was like, holy, wow, I had this for how many years?
Yeah,
just
crazy. Like, I don't know how long I had that. I must have gotten that Django CD probably in Ohio. Like, it had gone with me somehow. Because I had very limited CDs.
Well, you had a huge collection too, dude. Because I stored your CDs for a minute there, and dude, you definitely did not have a small collection.
Well, I still got a good.
Yeah. Well, wait, duh, it's sitting right there. Duh.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That's like not even a fraction of the store boxes in that room upstairs. Well, I mean, to me, like, it wasn't that many, but I guess as I went home and came back, when I visited my family, I kept bringing CDs back. So.
Yeah.
And of course, we used to go out to Lima and all that. But yeah, that Django, I remember putting that on after Bill showed me, the first thing he showed me was Jimmy Rosenberg playing the Flintstones. And I was like, wait, what? And it was just like, way cracked out, super fast, like shredding acoustic guitar. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay, so you can play Yngwie, you got this Paul Gilbert nonsense. He's like, you need to be able to do that if you want to be a real musician. So I'm just listening to it, I'm like, that does not sound.
This is Bill LaFleur that was saying this?
Yeah, he was like, you need to be able to do that if you want to be good at guitar.
Yeah.
Because that right there is hard. And he's like, well, you can do that, you got technique. Of course, so he had like a transcription of the solo. There's Bill's like a madman, transcribes everything.
Didn't he? I think he write for Hal Leonard or something like that.
Yeah, he still does a lot of work, I think, for them. I'm not sure if that's because
good gig, man. Actually, I'd be interested to talk to him about that too. Anyway,
he's super good. He's the one that got me to start like transcribing things. Got me in that habit, basically by way of getting me the CD with all that shit on it, like Al Di Meola and all that. It made me really he made me aware of like stuff that was not traditional shredding. Or I guess it is traditional shredding, if you want to put it that way. It's not like shred guitar, like distortion, like heavy metal guy. But you hear like these guys on acoustic guitar, like playing over changes and like crushing it. Like, it blew my mind. So yeah, he sent me home with the transcription. He's like, yeah, play that. So I went home and like he had all the picking directions, and I was like trying to play. I was like, dude, this is not possible, right? I still can't play it. what is that, 20 years ago? You know, Jimmy Rosenberg had a special ability to play really turbo shit. But like, I went back the next week and Bill was like, so weird. I couldn't play hardly anything. I was like trying to use these picking directions, and he could do it already, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, well, yeah, he's like, that is a very specific way they're playing. They're playing like that because it's acoustic, you know, it's louder. So I wasn't even big into playing acoustic guitar at all then, but you know, then I think, was it him or John Martin? One of those two gave me a Borelli tape, which I just found, a VHS tape.
Oh.
It's like Borelli when he's like 8 years old or something. We've seen it.
Oh, wow. I remember seeing little Jimmy Rosenberg, like young Jimmy Rosenberg. I don't recall seeing a really young Borelli, but I could have.
Yeah, it's got like him when he's 8, and it's got him later on, like some robotic stuff. It's got him with Al Viola, Larry Coryell, and Borelli's just, it's like the guitar trio thing where they're jamming, like Borelli's just fucking around. It's so clueless. But you can tell he's like clearly on a different level with his ideas. But yeah, like that kind of sparked, you know, that sparked me. But it wasn't until, I don't know when was it that I really started playing this stuff. I mean, I got a gypsy jazz guitar in like what, 2000?
So 13?
13.
I think did we record in 14? Heck, man, I don't know, man. Heck, I mean, look at that. Look at your, look at the damage that you put on that thing, man.
Yeah, it's definitely been played. The frets are pretty annihilated too. I don't know if you can see it. I put credit cards under the bridge.
Oh yeah.
I chopped them up because when I moved here, like the top moved, and the frets are so destroyed that I raised the action up like, what is that, two more millimeters. So it's playing pretty rough, but it definitely it still sounds good.
You still have the other one too, right?
What's that?
You still have your other one too, right?
No, I sold that to a student.
Oh, did you? Okay.
But this thing still sounds good.
Oh, I hope you play it till you go through.
Huh?
I hope you play it till you go through the board.
Yeah, I plan on it. You know, that's the next thing. I need to get a new one. But you know, I'm trying to find a guitar store that's local, or like somewhat local.
Once you get through that, I'll buy it from you.
Retire like the other ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's one of the things that, in fact, maybe I'll, well, no, I probably can't do that. I was going to say, man, maybe I'll flash the collection for the intro video, but I realized that one of those guitars I got from you might not be such a good idea to put on it.
That's not PC.
No, I get in trouble for that now. Dude, and the funny part is, dude, is it just means it's that much cooler, really.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a rare guitar.
You know, if anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, you don't need to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have like.
Hollering at you, John Roth.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. That was just kind of a tangent. But yeah, so every day I'm just trying to transcribe that stuff. I really like. I just like listening to music. It's almost all I listen to. It's funny that I put out that new BDP record. I was the last guy to even have the master files. I didn't realize they were like in a Dropbox folder.
Oh, just waiting for you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was like there for weeks. And then I was on the phone with Seth. And he was like, yeah, like, he was talking about songs. I'm like, oh yeah, I've never even heard that, like, the mix. And he was like, wait, what? It's been done for weeks, dude.
Huh. Well.
Oh, wow. You know, so then I downloaded it. I'm like, oh shit.
So you guys didn't reach out and be like, what do you think?
You know, we were all like talking about it pretty constantly, but yeah, like Chris Collier, you know, that's something you definitely need to have.
Yeah, I want to get Chris on too.
Man, Chris is, man, how far has that guy come in the years too, man? Like, he's always been good at what he does, but now, like that record, that mix and master on that's one of my favorite sounding double records. The Taste of Obliteration. Is that what it's called? No, it's called The Arcane Ascent.
The Arcane Ascent, yeah.
Jeez,
I mean, we should know.
Yeah, The Arcane Ascent. I haven't even opened this one. I have one unopened copy.
Yes.
I don't think there's any more physical copies available.
Should keep it unopened, man.
Yeah.
Sign it, and then whoever steals it from you has something that's worth something.
Yeah, I have the master file, so whatever. I mean, I think it sounds different with CD though. I gave one to Jeremy.
Yeah.
Jeremy's got one. We listened to it in his truck. He picked it up from the Guitar Center a few weeks ago. Had it blasting. So I asked him, I'll ask you, which one do you like better? Do you like the Arcane Ascent, or do you like Mass Delusion better?
Well, see, I'm kind of biased to Mass Delusion, so, and you know me, dude, like, I'm one of those dudes that I have to listen to something a whole bunch of times before I really start liking it. I mean, Blood Sugar Sex Magic came out, and I hated that album for, like, the first 2 months. You know, and that was like,
Yeah, I think we love this thing.
yeah, so.
Well, you know, that's funny to me because when Jeremy asked me that, for everybody out there, that's the gypsy bass player here in Omaha, good friend Jeremy, out.
Holler to Jeremy.
But yeah, like, you know, he asked me, he's like, which one do you like better? I was like, well, that's kind of funny. They're two totally different records. But my immediate answer is the Arcane Ascent, though. I like it better, A, the playing on it, all the dudes playing on it. Oh, and B, Peter Norton's jamming on it. So how cool is that? To show this original bass player. That's like left field.
You know what when I say I'm biased, you know, it's simply because I heard most of Mass Delusion as you were doing it. You were asking me about it and stuff, so I felt like part of the production process in an essence, even though I was
you were there
a couple steps removed. So
I basically learned how to sing metal to do that record.
Yeah.
What a shit show that was putting that whole thing together. But it did turn out great, yeah, but it's definitely like friendships ruined and shit, you know, like not intentionally, but you know, whatever. That's such a drama of being young and dumb. But,
And you know what? You never know what can happen in the future too. So you know, reconciliations can happen.
yeah, of course. But yeah, it's crazy. This new record, just the songwriting on it, I think, is just insane. You know, Josh, Sagine, Stephen, myself, Seth. We definitely well, how long did we work on that shit? Like, we wrote it by piece by piece by piece and then tear it apart and do it again. Josh kept re-recording guitars, changing string gauges and amps and, you know, like, it is like everybody wrote it too, which is cool. Whereas a lot of Mass Delusion musically, it was like me and Dane or Roe would write, you know, like a big portion of something, right? But it was really a total collaborative thing. Not the first record wasn't, but the sound of it too was just so gnarly. We only had 8-string guitars for that first record, and then the 9-string was new and like the bass tone that Peter got is just gnarly. Like, dude. That's
One thing that I find really interesting is how much the paradigm has changed for recording, particularly in the genre of metal these days, where, you know, like, say, let's go back to, like, let's say Slayer, right? They had to write all this stuff, they go in, record. If they didn't like it, they go back in, record, change a little bit of this and that. Now it's gotten to the point where essentially you can have an idea for a song, and then just like you said, you just ping pong it back and forth. Everybody writing and developing and polishing and then repolishing and playing off of everything. So I mean, there's the luxury to just really form this amazing sort of idea kind of on the fly instead of having to take, like, you know, how bands would take 9 months ahead of time before any recording happened to work it all out. Now it seems like it's such a fluid, organic thing. Do you feel that same way, or what's your opinion on that, if any?
Yeah, you know, I think it's like almost an opposite thing has happened, where that is very interesting because in some ways it's opposite, in some ways that's exactly it. I think it depends on the person how they work. Like for me, I basically just stopped playing or writing any metal stuff, probably because of those 2 records that we were just talking about that I wrote.
Yeah. What do you mean? For anybody who doesn't know what you mean by that.
As far as what?
What do you mean you stopped writing metal because of having finished those 2?
Just because, like, I feel like we did, like, I did exactly, like, nailed the concept of the first one with Mass Delusion, and then this newest one, the music, I feel like that's an expression of, like, that's what if I wanted to write a record, that's what it is.
The perfect icing on the perfect cake sort of thing.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, working with those dudes on it was actually super pleasant. You know, like flying up to do the vocals with Seth and stuff. Like we had a blast. We hung out. You know, we're all bros.
Took some hikes.
Yeah, it took some hikes. You know, and it's just everything about it was really cool. It took forever, and there wasn't like a lot of us. And the weird thing is, there wasn't a lot of us hammering things out. Like, you know, the first record was, you know, me and Rode and everybody got together and like worked on the tunes very actively. We were playing them live, like a lot of them before we recorded it. And this one, like, some of it were like writing it piece by piece and like, whoa, that's gonna be really hard, dude. That's gonna be like, start thinking about it, like that's gonna be pretty incredible to try and play that live. Like the one I'm talking about in particular is what is it? What's the name of it? The Soul Development. Like that song is just a pain in the ass. But we ended up doing it. It was just like, dude, not that fun. At least the main riff is not that fun to play because it's just too hard.
It's funny how you do that to yourself, right? I mean, it's funny because I mean, I could even think of back, you know, right in the very inception of PDP, one, you know, in particular, The Abomination, and having Michael Dwyer come in and us, you know, just fishing for ideas on stuff. And it's like, hey, dude, just write a bunch of time signatures up on the board real quick. Well, he wrote like 15 time signatures that we then wrote into a song, literally playing from one to the next. And how do we make it hip?
I was thinking of that tune this morning. It's so funny you mentioned that.
And
I woke up thinking about that song. Well, because, you know, I knew we were going to talk today and talk about this stuff, but that was like, yeah, that tune, like, that one was Grandma Sugar's house. There's some silly ass tunes. And you still have that tape, right? So,
yeah, we just got to get a working tape player that I've tried. Every tape player I've found, I think like the band is like no tape player wants to hear it. PDP, the original PDP is so raw. The cassette players are like, fuck that, we don't want to hear it.
It sounds pretty fucking bad. But at least the ideas were there, and then like, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty over even just listening to metal right now. It's probably because also from playing so many shows the last few years touring doing it.
Yeah, I mean that takes a toll on you physically too.
Yeah, my ears are fucked up.
Yeah.
And I really don't get like, not that it's not challenging. It's like I just said, like there's tunes on there like the Automatic Worship of the Anti-God is some ultra turbo picking stuff, and played on a 9-string, you know, like so it's hard and it's challenging. You got to keep those chops up. But for me, like melodically, I don't really. Or I guess even tonally, I don't want to hear that all the time. And when I do listen to it, this is me being super narcissistic. It's usually that record now because it's still new to me and it excites me. Like the songwriting, I think, is interesting on it. Like the arrangements. It's not like a lot of these new tech death metal bands where it's all the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
my guitar's up here and I'm like, you know, doing things. But I think like it's much like the similarities of it to Sugar are in the arrangements and like the coolness of how things happen. But it's a lot more. The first one had a lot of thrash moments. This one has fewer thrash moments, but they're extreme.
Yeah.
Blast beats and like it's all gnarly, like craziness. But a lot of the album is just fat grooves. So that to me, like if I'm lifting at the gym and stuff, it's cool. But most of the time, I'm like listening to Borelli or Django. Or yet Antoine Boyer, or that's been the one lately, Adrian Moyard, Gonzalo, like that album Classico, I don't know if you have that one, that's Gonzalo and Adrian, that's a badass record. So yeah, I like listening, even when I'm lifting weights, that's like, I'm in there, like getting all pumped, and like listening to like 1930s jazz.
It's funny, you know, I actually hadn't really considered that. For some reason, I figured like you'd still go back to the Pantera. By the way, love the shirt.
Oh, can you see which one it is?
Yeah.
It's what did you say, Pantera?
Pantera Brutal Kittens.
That's funny. That's some funny shit. But yeah, I don't know. That's the whole thing. So yeah, I don't really listen to that shit much anymore. It's pretty whack. It's still, of course, like all on my iTunes.
Yeah.
iTunes is it's a pretty heavy iTunes still. Not that it's all jazz and shit. But you know, like what did I get recently? I got all this Wayne Shorter shit.
Would it be too far of a stretch to say in some ways you've kind of done and learned pretty much everything you kind of want to learn in that metal era, and it's just simply that there's so many other things to learn that you got to reach out and do that, or
Oh,
that's
absolutely what it is. It's not like saying I learned all my
No, I don't mean that, but it's like,
I think I've gotten enough out of it to the point where I've explored it so deep for so long, and I've been so immersed in that world of it and playing rock music that at this point in my life, you're absolutely right. Like I want to explore these other things, and I really enjoy playing swing music.
I found that
it's just interesting. It's different to me, you know. Or not even just swing music, just jazz in general is kind of fun. I've been listening to it a lot more, and it's so much of it's so new because I just, you know, in order to be one of these guys, like one of those Ron Jarzik guys, who, you know, like a truly great metal musician, you need to be doing it all the time. Like,
yeah, what's his brother's name? The drummer?
Bobby Jarzik.
Yeah, Jesus.
What a psycho on the kid.
Yeah, man, that guy's out there.
Those two guys have Blotted Science for anybody who wants to listen to progressive music.
Yeah, check that out. You guys want to see some crazy stuff? Just look up Blotted Science.
Blotted Science, or Spastic Ink is the one with Bobby on it.
Spastic Ink? Okay, yeah, check out Spastic Ink.
Yeah, what's just look up, what is the song, School, when he does that drum video for School, Bobby Jarzik, School, look that shit up. Watch out. Well, see, I got Ron Jarzak's Solitarily Speaking of the, what is the title of that record?
So, one thing that I found in school that I think kind of ties into this is I felt that, you know, when I learned, I hit an obstacle learning one thing, like saying rock, I didn't figure anything new I could do. By going and working in another genre, I would suddenly have new ideas that were only in there, and then a lot of times, you know, you and I did it where we go and start practicing stuff and try to take stuff over, you know, these hybrid variations. Yeah. And all of a sudden, so it just gave me a new vocabulary, but it took me going and doing something else totally different than, you know, in this particular example, playing rock music, you know, playing some Latin to get some of those ideas, playing some reggae to get some of those ideas.
No, that's it exactly, right? Because you remember, like, that's what we were doing. We were jamming together. It was literally like every Saturday we get together.
Every Saturday.
Like, what two things that we're working on this week can we, like, from the different things we're both studying, say, well, let's put these two things together and see what that sounds like. You know, which some of it sounded super stupid, and then some of it turned into things like, one of them turned into a song that, Death Grip, right? That became a song that way. That song is that fucking old. That was like something me and you were jamming on, and it's just like, I don't even remember that might have started from a Latin thing. And there's a song on Mass Illusion that started like that too. It's a Latin groove. I can't remember what the name of it is. Oh, Bleed Out. You know what that is? That's from a Marco Miniman book. Bleed Out started as an alternating foot-hand pattern. So, I don't know how it is. I can't believe I still remember it. But that's an alternating, that's the feet and hands or something, or maybe that's like it's a sticking exercise.
Some rudiment between the hands and the feet.
Something like that. It's one of those examples. I think Chase had left that book in my house for a minute.
Yeah.
I believe Chase did. One of you guys did. Yeah. That's another thing, is hanging out with drummers. It's like, man, what different ways to get ideas, you know, especially metal musicians, like, hanging with a good drummer, or any musician, A, to improve your time, but B, to get concepts. Like, for me, I
remember all of us were writing stuff out and showing it to each other, right? And being like, oh, check this out, check this out, check this out. And then, so obviously, you know, that everybody around was, basically forced to digest it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, I always was really intrigued by that whole thing, especially because time has never been my strongest suit. Which, like, people that, you know me from playing PvP and stuff, that's probably think I'm crazy for saying that.
I think you're crazy for saying it. But I also feel like my time is crap and I'm a drummer.
Well, I feel like my time sucks too, but then it's like, that's what happens if you watch the people like Borelli every day. You're like, ugh. I'm the worst guitar player in the universe, or just musician in general. Like that dude's time is so strong, it's ruthless. But yeah, like hanging out with you guys, just all those different drum ideas, like that to me translates to metal really well. I don't hear a lot of that in a lot of modern metal. What I hear is a lot of people playing technically fast things, and I hear like a very one-dimensional thing. Like it's very technique focused. It's very notey, like playing lots of notes, doing tapping, and phrases that just kind of melodically resolve, but rhythmically don't. Not that I'm knocking any of it or whatever, because it's a different thing. But that's why I still really gravitate to like listening to Pantera if I'm going to listen to metal. That's what I really like about it is they tell a story in a very like almost Beatles kind of way, which people might think I'm crazy. But you know, remember we used to like when working on tunes, that would be the first thing I would reference is an arrangement.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, you know, Pantera, what's the arrangement in that song? Like
Yeah.
for example, 5 Minutes Alone, pretty dope tune. Why is it so dope? Well, A, the musicianship is badass. I love the way it sounds, like tones and stuff. I know some people can't stand it, whatever. I love the way that shit sounds. The way they're playing, the swagger, the lyrics, the rhythms.
Yeah, any notable idea in the song? Yeah, totally.
The arrangement of it is like super precise. So like I learned that really early on too from those guys, and like even with Suga, I think Suga is like super good at like. Their phrases might be weird to people and not usual, like typical American style rock or metal. That's what I gravitate towards that because it's unusual, or at least at the time, like, you know, Destroy, Erase, and Prove when I was a teenager, I got that shit, I was like, whoa, dude, what?
Yeah.
Like, wait, what?
Well, just trying to grasp the concepts. It's like, what is this and why? You know.
Yeah, and for them it's natural, right? They've been doing it for so long, but it's unique. And their phrases do resolve. You know, you listen to like, what's the Violent Sleep of Reason is that's the newest one, right? I mean, it's basically Pantera with Suga all over this computer. And then Gypsy Jazz is so weird. Oh, yeah, Gojira too, they resolve phrases. But like rhythmically, like with Suga is super cool. And I think the lyrics are rad too, especially like, all the stuff like Ob's End has some crazy lyrics. I is such a good record lyrically. The Violent Sleep of Reason, like those guys they still do it for me, you know. But it's all that stuff is rhythmically based, right? And it's not super notey, which I kind of enjoy. It's like that monotonous driving hate machine, but it still grooves.
Yeah.
You got swagger. You know, it's something I've been trying to do a lot more of is be more positive. I remember being like 27 and being like, man, fuck that shit, you know, whatever. And that's being 27, you know what I mean? Like, even though I'm generally kind of a positive guy, like I don't like people that much in general, but then when I tell people that, they're always like, well, you're a super friendly guy.
No.
Like, well, that's true because I do like to give everybody a chance.
No.
You know, you get one. But if somebody's cool, I'll be like, all right, you know what, you're cool as hell. And I like to respect people and their. But I know, like, you remember me, I used to be like, man, fuck that band or whatever. Like, that's not cool. Like,
Yeah.
now that I'm an old man, old 37-year-old man who's like in the realm of, I don't really give a shit. Like, if that's your thing, that's your thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I want to be hammered by trap music all night if I'm out somewhere. Like, just fucking quit. Play something else. Like, it's the same thing as me playing fucking Despised Icon all night.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to fucking hear that shit. I like it. Doesn't mean everybody else needs to be hammered with boats and hoes.
Yeah, nobody wants to have their somebody impose their will upon them, you know,
Like,
when they don't.
Like, if you're gonna play some of that shit, that's cool. Like, play some other shit, or let other people play some shit. Like, dude, the guy that goes in and puts $20 in the jukebox, I'm like, damn, dude, I'm playing pool and I have to listen to this for 2 hours. Fuck this, I'm out of here.
But you know that's got to be the troll. Anytime somebody dumps in like $5 in a jukebox, it's like, all right, dude.
Well, a lot of it's like college kids shit too, and that's what they're into listening to, man. Like, Like,
Yeah.
because it doesn't resonate with me doesn't mean it doesn't resonate with them. So fuck.
Like no music, like historically all music growing up, right? The next generation hates the new generation's music. So I try to find validity in some of the stuff now, and I can in some of it, and some of it I just can't understand. Not to mean it doesn't have its place in the world, and maybe I'll understand it after it's evolved some more. Maybe that's it. Maybe some of this stuff is just in its evolution.
I don't have high hopes for that for myself, but however, I'll tell you this.
I'm trying to be optimistic about it.
Yeah, but that's the thing is being optimistic.
And maybe I can get some people to come onto this podcast and bring up some ideas of why, enlighten me as to why some of this stuff is a lot cooler than I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, well, there are similarities like trap music, like what the hi-hat's doing, death metal's doing that with the kick drum.
Yeah.
That's what it is, dude. It's like they flipped it. So whatever it is, but like I said, it's something.
All the treble, none the bass.
Yeah, like I need to like. This is part of my thinking. I have to remind myself there's just to be more positive and let people have their thing.
Yeah.
You know, like why not? Like it's really not affecting me, especially now that like I basically just play. You know, I'll go jam with Jeremy and Alex. You know, play some gypsy tunes. Like that's what we're gonna do tonight. You know, as soon as I get done, I gotta teach Darren here in a couple minutes. But yeah, I'm gonna go play shit that I like to play and whatever. And then I'll probably go. I got some new darts yesterday. Courtesy of Jeremy and Kristen, so I'll probably go throw some freaking darts, you know?
Well, heck yeah, dude.
So it's like, I don't know, I spent time, like, I think everybody does, you know, when you're younger, you're just trying to find your place. And it's like, well, you know what, you don't have to have your place. There's a lot of places. And that's like part of, like, I find if I just try to be more positive, even though sometimes I'll catch myself, like, you know, like trap music, like, I don't like that fucking shit. It doesn't mean it all sucks. And like, if I make a broad statement like that, like, let's reel it in. You know, like I don't need to be painting with such a broad stroke, so to speak.
No.
Like, because there is, I guarantee there's validity.
Well, we see it in the political realm, and it leads to bad things. And if it, if it doesn't fly there, it doesn't fly. Yeah, you never. I'm the same way, dude. I need to make sure I'm not saying everything is this, everything is that. It's all like this, because it never is. It never is.
What if I, if we carry, like, we're carrying that burden around and being irritated by it, and I catch myself, like, being irritated by things that I find to be, or what's the word I'm looking for, where I feel like it's like crushing my soul a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially because, you know what I mean, like, I am, like, actively studying music every day, like, what have I got here? I can't even pronounce the name of this tune, but I got a bunch of charts sitting here. I wrote like a gypsy tune last October. I was looking at that, I totally forgot how to play it. I saw this crazy chord name, like, what is that, dude? But they're like the Charlie Parker audiobook, big book of classical music, Chopin, like it's something every day. If it's not gypsy jazz, if it's not metal, whatever, right? Or if it's not like a cool bluegrass, like I started trying to learn this Tony Rice thing. Dude, what the fuck?
What is Tony Rice?
It's bluegrass, flat picking. The dude that's just a whole different thing. You know, like, those people are so good at that shit. I don't need to be starting with Tony Rice, put it that way. Like, I started trying to learn shit, like, alright, start, like...
It's like that, huh?
Yeah, it's gnarly. It's like if you start learning gypsy jazz, like, well, I'm gonna transcribe Raleigh. Like, no, we don't do that. Start with Django. Start with the guy who invented it, you know? There's validity in learning the history of it, because, hey, that's what everybody else learned from, too. It's kind of like starting with Ingve and never having listened to Bach. Like, well, that's just silly pants.
Yeah. Like start. I guess in drums it'd be like, dude, you want to learn the drum beat before you learn the fill.
Yeah. It's like, dude, learn the stuff. I mean, that's one thing, man. Like what we say earlier, like, is anybody gonna remember us when we're dead and gone, or our music in 100 years? Think about Bach. How about that guy?
Yeah.
Like, what's up, Bach? Nice job, man.
Yeah.
Buddy. And appreciate. Here's the Bach. Here's your cola Bach.
I'm out of my jiff, but that's all right. I know we're gonna have to cut this portion of the episode done fairly soon here. We should probably do that for you, but I still sometime it doesn't need to be tonight, but if you do have time later or whatnot to go over, just talk a little bit more, man. I think we're getting some beautiful stuff here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even tomorrow, I have to teach one lesson.
Cool. Well, I can start going through this and editing some of the stuff and playing with it and stuff anyway, and then.
Yeah, let me know how long it is and then what other stuff you want to talk about too.
Yeah.
We did like exactly like you said. We just kind of rambled at each other for fucking.
No, I think there's a lot of really good stuff in here. So it's just figuring out how to edit it down, and I want to make sure the quality is there, and I want to have something that people want to check out, bro.
Yeah, I guess I should teach this lesson. I'm gonna educate.
Yep, I hope to keep you on point and all that. I appreciate you taking the time, and I do want to continue on sometime soon. So you let me know when you got some time, and let's make that happen.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you hitting me up. It's always good just to talk to you. Matt, what are you doing?
Yo! Matt's just sitting here listening to us chat at each other. Dude, he doesn't realize that nobody else who's watching this is going to realize that this is how our conversations normally go.
Yeah, I was just playing
We're just
some bass
a lot more reminiscing today than normal, but...
Yo.
Yeah, here, dude, I'll let Matt get in here for a sec.
No, I was just jamming on this fucking tiny little bass here.
Oh, little guy.
Yeah! Dude, this thing's so fun. And then I started looking at, like, short scale basses for a little bit on my phone, and then I was like, oh, wait, I should look at synthesizers, too. So I was, checking out Moogs and shit for sale.
Hey, who were you tracking? Were you tracking somebody yesterday? Acoustic guitar, or was that day before yesterday?
Yesterday I was doing a hip-hop, I was mastering some hip-hop stuff. Yeah, I was mastering a hip-hop EP for this dude that I tracked. That acoustic guitar thing, that was on, like, Saturday, I think, or Sunday. That was Saturday. Yeah.
Today's Wednesday? Oh, I've been in a bit of a time loop.
Yeah. I think that was, like, Sunday that we did that tracking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was dope.
Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, it was cool. Because we just wanted to we knew we were going to pan an electric guitar, and I was kind of being lazy. I really just didn't want to stereo mic everything, or like double track and pan hard. I was just feeling kind of lazy, so we got creative with it. And I was like, all right, so I'm going to pan the guitar, the electric's going to go hard left, and like this acoustic will go hard right. And we just ran the acoustic, though, with a sound hole cover, and do like a little Dean acoustic amp. It sounded sweet with that, the Afterneath from Earthquaker. It was money.
Yeah, that was really cool. I need to, I'm gonna get some kind of pickup for this thing. But
cool.
like, I don't know if you researched, acoustics as far as all the different systems. They're like a shit ton of them.
Oh yeah, I'd say like for something like that, you'd probably get the best sound with like a transducer or like a piezo kind of mic. Maybe a bridge one or something, in there?
Yeah, I was looking, there's a couple of cool transducers that you can basically put under the bridge.
Yeah, something like that, because I think it's...
in the body, too. Which might even sound better, it sounds less brittle that way.
Yeah, I would do something like that and then still maybe mic it, too,
Yeah,
like,
so I'm going to get one of those little, what is it called, the little clip-on Audio-Technica guys, probably.
Yeah, something like that. Seymour Duncan makes some good ones too for acoustics.
Super small, non-intrusive kind of thing.
Yeah.
It just comes with a little clip, right? You just point it in the guitar.
Yeah, like sound hole.
I would like to use a mic sound whenever possible.
Yeah.
Some of these bars, like, people are going to be so loud, like...
Well, where are you going to be setting it in the mix? Is it going to be, like, front and center or off to the side or something?
Yeah, it's going to be, I have to do all the melodies and shit. We're playing with the trumpet, too, so
okay.
We definitely will have to have some volume.
Yeah, one of my favorite way for tracking acoustic right now is with XY. Like, I'm doing an XY with pencil condensers right on the 12th fret.
Okay.
Then you can do, like, a little panning left and right, just, like, 6 synths on either side. Sounds amazing. It gives it the acoustic a little space right on either side of the vocal, but then you can wrap other guitars all around it,
Yeah, the live situation is like, we want to have these guys have a PA that we might get. I still have my rack here with all the BDP stuff, which has like a 1200 watt fucking power amp and shit.
Oh, cool.
Either 15 minutes, okay.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, so I still have, dual 31 band or whatever. But I still have all that shit sitting here in a road case, which I actually didn't
nice.
Take with me. But it's like I just need a couple of monitors basically, and then some speakers. We'd be good to go. And I think for a lot of gigs, just miking it would be cool. Get one of those little clip-on mics.
Yeah, just something like that's probably all you need for live stuff.
Yeah, I'd probably,
Yeah.
probably be fine. I like the idea of a pickup too, because I feel like I could put it into an amp and just monitor myself, you know?
Yeah.
Use that for a monitor, so that way I'm not like trying feedback at myself.
Yeah.
That might be why I use a pickup. But I looked into these, I don't know if you've ever seen those, Crevo pickups.
I don't think so.
They make like a specific pickup for these types of guitars, like classical and gypsy jazz
Yeah.
guitars, and it's like, you stick it on the putty or whatever, but
Oh, yeah, okay.
it's like that late Django, like that 40s and 50s Django tone, like where it's kind of, it's amplified and it breaks up a little bit. It sounds
Okay.
pretty dope.
Yeah.
So, but then
Nice,
it's
Meg.
not like acoustic sounding. It's like ideally I like the acoustic because you just get maximum dynamics that way.
Yeah. Totally. And, like that guitar's got a tone that you like of its own, you know, that you want to capture.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, that's why I'm playing the acoustic guitars. I like that you can go.
Yeah. And that's also so much of the player technique too, you know. You lose that if you're just putting in a plug in a pickup in the body or something.
Yeah, like as soon as you do that, it's like you lose 50% of your dynamic.
Yeah.
Like those types like gypsy lines, they don't pop the same way. And even when I watch like some of the great players, you see them play with the pickup, they play differently. You know, they're not playing the same shit, so you can tell it kind of fucks with them.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true.
I better get off here. I hate to run, but I gotta get ready to teach Derek. It's gonna be here in a minute, so I got
Nice.
my 4 o'clock showing up.
Cool, yeah, I should get rolling. I gotta go do some mixing later this afternoon and stuff, but.
Cool, man. Well, it's good to get a chance to chat with you. Russell, it's good to talk
Yeah,
to
you too, man.
You too, Russell. So, hey, dude, thanks a lot. I might as well be sitting in front of the mic while I do this. So, yeah, man, thanks for doing this. Have a good lesson and stuff, and we'll talk either later today or sometime tomorrow and figure out when the next time to sit down and do the rest of this.
Can you see the hat?
Keep calm and listen to Gypsy Jazz. Fuck, I need that hat. That's
You
right.
do, man.
Nice.
We need to
Okay.
get on the doors or some shit.
That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. All right, Brossel. I'll check you later.
Let me catch you later.
I'll talk to you soon. Peace, bro.